Thank you, Mr. Gates.
Not like the old days, is it, Mr. Gates?
Are you responsible for that?
I signed it, yes.
Now, I don't know what past practice has been, but I won't have my directors criticizing the government in those terms, at least not in writing.
Well, I'm used to saying what I mean as concisely and directly as possible.
Your job is to implement decisions, not ridicule.
My job is to run the operations directorate of SIS as effectively as I can, which is very difficult to do when some idiot politician makes pronouncements on things he doesn't understand, sir.
By idiot politician, I take it you're referring to the Minister of State at the FCO.
If it was his idea to close the Caribbean station, yes.
It was his decision to close a station. And the Caribbean station has plenty of others around it. Washington, Mexico City.
All with their own problems. Tell me, where would they get their Caribbean information from? The front page of the Daily Cleaner?
So which station would you close instead?
None of them.
We've been told to make savings.
Well, then let's save elsewhere. I've already been reduced to 2 sandbaggers by temporary manning standard. I'm undercrewed in the ops room and in mission planning. Why do cuts always have to be at the sharp end of the job?
I don't recall that your letter offered alternative suggestions.
I'm not in the business of antagonizing other directorates, sir. But I do expect you to resist reduction in operational capability.
You seem to miss the essential point. The service is short of cash across the board.
Then you're going to have to fight to get us some more, sir.
And you're going to have to give me the ammunition, which should be slightly more sophisticated than that sledgehammer of a letter.
Well, it says what it means. The Russians have got their eyes on the Caribbean. It's no longer an American lake.
And we no longer sail gunboats up the Yangtze nor have skirmishes on the northwest frontier.
Oh, and that one. Come. Yes, Neil.
What did you think of that, sir?
Well, it's just what I said at the budget meeting, although I may have been a little less blunt.
Yes, well, our new Lord and Master wants it rewritten, couched in hearts and flowers.
Well, he couldn't forward that version, could he?
Why not?
The proposal at the reference is deemed to be both short-sighted and hazardous. We must learn from Soviet expansion in the Indian Ocean, which was permitted to occur because of lack of positive political response, etc., etc. You could wrap it up a bit.
If we wrap it up, sir, it'll have no impact at the Foreign Office and we'll lose the station. It's got to be something like this. Take them by the throat, make them sit up and listen.
Yes, but it's still got to go out under C's signature, and if he won't accept your
No, but
version...
he won't accept because it comes from me.
Oh, I shouldn't think so.
I think so.
Simon! Here's another. I suppose you could always ask D. Int to lead on it?
I'm not running my directorate from behind D.N. skirts. What it needs, sir, is a stiff note of support from you.
Oh, no. I'm not going to antagonize the new C within a week of his arrival.
We're talking about losing the Caribbean station, sir.
I know, but I'm in a difficult position. The deputy chief has to get on with C, otherwise the place would grind to a halt.
Oh, well, if you're afraid of him.
I am not afraid of him. I think it would be a little less insulting. Withdraw your letter and resubmit it in a more acceptable form. That's all you can do.
Withdraw that, we'll have to redo it. Who drafted it? Sandbagger 2?
Yes.
Get him up.
Right. Jeff Ross rang. Can you have lunch today? Important he sees you and he'll pay.
Okay.
And Sir Geoffrey Wellingham wants to see you. His PS suggested 9:45.
Subject?
Don't know.
All right, so be there.
Right.
Marion,
Sir?
coffee.
Right. Oh, Monica.
Got 30 seconds, Neil.
The intelligence director a whole minute.
The intelligence director finds himself on the horns of a somewhat unusual dilemma.
Oh?
I have some information from my contact in MI5.
You penetrated MI5, have you?
Yes, and I don't want my man exposed. But you're still mates with Jeff Ross, aren't you?
Well, matter of fact, we're having lunch today.
His wife is the subject of a current MI5 operation.
Jenny? Well, is it some kind of routine check?
No, I can't get at the reason for it, but I do know that it's a proper operation.
If CIA discovered that MI5 had targeted the wife of their London station chief...
I know, but 5 wouldn't move against her without some grounds.
What's she supposed to have done? Borrow the life of Karl Marx from a local library?
Well, I share your reservations about MI5 and your respect for the CIA. But our first loyalty has to be to the British firm. Neil, you mustn't alert Ross, or at least not until we know what's going on.
No, all right, Edward. Thanks for telling me.
What's she like, Jenny Ross?
Perfectly normal, as far as I know.
And 5 must know something you don't.
Must do. Willie, come up as quick as you can, will you, please?
Do you want to redo that letter after you've talked to Mike?
Yes, and when next I'm in the mood for flowery prose.
We'll see once it's softened, does he?
Yes.
I thought it was a bit too pointed.
You're an expert on submissions to the Foreign Office, are you?
I was expressing an opinion.
Based on a week in this office and several years making coffee elsewhere.
Well, one gets a lot of time to think, making coffee. Both Sandbaggers are here.
Right, I'll see them together.
What are you doing?
Morning, sir.
Right. Sit down, both of you. Now, Dean's just been in to tell me that Jenny Ross is being targeted by MI5.
Jeff's wife?
Yes?
What for?
We don't know. And quite rightly, Dean has asked me not to move against MI5 in favour of the CIA.
Except that CIA is a lot more valuable to us than MI5.
A special relationship.
Exactly. So we need to know more before we can decide which way to jump. Now, look, Willie, pick up Jenny Ross as soon as you can. See where she goes, what she does, whom she meets.
All right, I think I'll recognise her. No reason why she should remember me.
Yeah, well, just remember MI5 is sitting in on it, too.
Well, in that case, I'd better not be seen in more than one place if she moves to a second location.
Ring in and Mike can go and relieve him.
All right, I'll get started.
You wanted to see me about the Caribbean station?
Oh, yes, you drafted the letter, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
C's rejected it.
Oh, I knew there was a risk of that, but... Look, if we don't push hard
No,
on
I
this
know.
one...
Is there anything more you can tell me about it?
Not much. The station used to be at Nassau. It was then moved to Kingston, Jamaica to be more central, the better to cover the whole area.
But we used to have stations at Nassau and Kingston.
In the good old days, yes. Single cells in Nassau, Kingston, Port-au-Prince, Santo Domingo.
So we've cut back, what, 4/5 already?
And we've still got a submission outstanding to reactivate Havana. We're dependent on the CIA there at the moment.
The Americans are more than a little biased about Cuba.
Right.
Look, there's got to be some rules somewhere governing the closures and the openings of stations.
I'll have another look.
Do that and try and find some viable alternatives for the saving.
It's not easy, sir. It's costed at $50,000 a year all up.
We probably spend more than that on six-floor carpeting.
Oh, what's the timescale on all this?
Yesterday?
Ah, situation normal.
I'll be at the Foreign Office.
Right. Oh, Willie's asking for a pool car, by the way.
Okay, authorise it when they ring through.
I'm trusted to do that, am I?
You'll probably get on well with the transport people. They think they run the place too.
Thank you for coming over, Neil. Are you busy at the moment?
Just one major problem, sir.
Oh?
This proposed closure of the Caribbean station.
Ah, yes. I didn't sit in on that one. My deputy handled it. But Peel was there.
I know. He made all the right noises, but faced with a Minister of State, he's about as forceful as a limp lettuce.
Couldn't you offer them another station instead?
No, we've been closing back steadily on stations for years. We can't afford to close any more.
What's the figure involved?
50,000.
Manpower savings?
Well, a temporary manning standard as it is. Couldn't you breathe heavily on the Minister of State?
I've tried, inasmuch as I've voiced my misgivings about the closure. But there's no money in the kitty. The government is committed to reducing public expenditure.
I've got to find a way of keeping it open, sir.
Well, I'd hope if I could. Now, my problem is less well-defined, but interesting for all that.
Yes?
My opposite number at the Home Office is a nice enough chap, but he lacks my charm and wit and intelligence.
Of course.
And my subtlety. He was trying to pump me last night over dinner without making it obvious, and failed dismally.
What did you want to know?
All about the special relationship.
Between SIS and the CIA?
The one between the Home Office and the Ancient Monuments Board is already well known to him. The question is, on whose behalf was he doing the pumping?
MI5.
Is that a suggestion or a statement?
A statement. There's something going on. MI5 are taking an unusual amount of interest in the CIA.
To what end?
As yet, I don't know.
The Home Office shouldn't have anything to do with the CIA.
I agree.
We can't have MI5 treating the CIA like an extension of the Warsaw Pact. Got a fascination with foreign affairs at the Home Office. They meddle at the first opportunity.
MI5 will probably claim it's part of a security investigation.
Into what?
I'm trying to find that out too, sir.
I want it stopped, Neil, whatever it is. I'm not having the Home Office empire building at our expense.
Yes, I've got this friend in MI5.
No one has a friend in MI5, Mike.
An acquaintance, then. I thought I could give him a ring, meet him for lunch.
All right, but be careful. And keep in touch, just in case Willie needs backup in a hurry.
OK, I'll hand over my notes on the Caribbean submission to Marion.
OK. Expect I get a lecture on the Jamaican rum industry as a result.
Oh, she's quite bright.
A moth attracted to the flame, eh, mate?
Not me, sir, but I wouldn't like to speak for Sandbagger 1.
I'm glad you could make it, man.
How could I refuse?
Huh?
Well, lunch at this place. What do you want in return? My entire directorate, the whole of next year's budget?
Your budget wouldn't cover our phone bills.
It wouldn't keep you in postage stamps.
Yeah.
Do you know, if they cut back any further, our most distant foreign station will be Liverpool.
Well, I hope you're on a diet.
I'm starving.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
The company won't mind if you say you're entertaining a man of global influence.
So which trade union leader do you want to be? Anyway, it's not on the company. It's on me. I need a favor.
Well, I do need to be bribed.
Yeah, I know that, Neil, but it's a big one, and it's kind of personal. The Coke's for my father.
Thank you. You were saying?
Somebody's got me under surveillance, and I don't think it's the Russians.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You don't know anything about it, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, look, Neil, I just want to know who they are and why, okay?
I'll try.
Okay, thanks.
But don't let it worry you.
No, it's just...
Your table's there.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
How's Jenny? Well, what does that mean?
She's bored. With life in general and me in particular.
Well, you better do something about it.
You know what the hours are like in this business? Jenny's got a lot of time on her own. And when you consider that half the time I just
Come home late, fall asleep in your chair.
You got it, brother.
Are things really bad between you?
Well, they're not good. What the hell? I guess it'll all work out.
I hope so.
Are you trying to put me under the table?
Of course not. If I did, I wouldn't be able to feast my eyes on you. At least, not unless I stood on my head.
All right. But a very small brandy.
A wise decision.
The intelligence director, sir.
Afternoon, Edward. Grab a chair.
I see you've withdrawn your draft on the Caribbean closure.
Under instruction, yes.
Yes. You're not looking to propose cuts in my directorate, are you?
No. I was thinking more about closing the Abidjan station.
Abidjan?
Ivory Coast.
Yes, but we haven't got a station in Abidjan.
You and I know that, but does the Minister of State, or the new C for that matter?
Peel knows.
So we omit him from the distribution of the draft letter.
You never get away with it.
Oh, not so sure. We stall them for a few weeks, during which we activate a station in Abidjan. Then we agree to shut him.
Foreign Office approval to activate a station.
Another omission.
There's a British embassy there. As soon as our lot moved in, the ambassador would be firing off telegrams asking what was going on.
Well, that's set up independent of the embassy.
The ambassador would still find out. When the closure proposals came up, they'd ask for his comments. You know how painfully polite the Foreign Office is.
Well, there must be somewhere where there isn't an ambassador.
Well, even if there is, there's no saving in closing a mythical station.
I'm not interested in their savings. They only spend it on dole money for layabouts anyway.
You'd make Attila the Hun feel like a member of the Tribune Group.
Well, does this country want an intelligence service, or doesn't it?
Good question. But the answer is not to close a non-existent station. We'd be bowled out, and we'd end up in the dole queue ourselves.
Well, we've got to do something. Lose the Caribbean station, and we'll leave a gap which the Russians will fill within a year.
Yes.
And once in, we never get rid of them.
The CIA will still be there?
The CIA? with its hands tied tighter and tighter behind its back because of Senate committees and milk and water politicians.
Oh, you really are in a hawkish mood today.
And I'll get worse. Yes?
Afternoon, sir.
Anything from the lunch?
I could be paranoid, but I got the distinct impression that I was being fed information.
Go on.
When I met my friend, we exchanged the usual news and gossip. And I was just about to try and steer the conversation when he volunteered that he's into a, quotes, very interesting surveillance job at the moment. Can't tell you what it is, of course. End quotes.
Is he normally so forthcoming?
No, he isn't. And when I joked that they were probably targeting us, he said, no, but you're not that far off.
Go on.
He then asked me if I knew the CIA chief in London. Just said that I'd met him, that he seemed like a good bloke.
Jenny Ross has a fella. His name's Darcy.
English?
Trevor Darcy. He's trying to chat her into bed, hotel room for the afternoon. So far she's resisted, but I don't think she will for much longer.
What's he like?
In his 30s, good-looking, rich, charming, sickening.
Did you trade him, see where he lives?
I tried. He shook me.
Deliberately?
It's hard to tell. I'm pretty sure he didn't know I was following him, but could have been automatic evasive action.
If that's the way he's been trained, you mean?
Another thing, if 5 are watching him or her, they're pretty good. I couldn't spot them.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. If they've got enough men working on it, working shifts, could take them days.
No, it's an expensive way of doing it. It would mean a very big operation.
And the Darcy's a big fish.
Right.
Do we know when Jenny and this Darcy are meeting again?
Yeah, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, Parkway Tower for coffee.
Are they? Doesn't look good, does it?
No. If he does get her into bed and there's a camera-carrying comrade behind the curtain.
Jeff gets the chance to buy the negatives in exchange for choice CIA items marked top secret.
Yeah, if he refuses, the photographs go around the embassy wives. When the sniggering stopped, Jeff would have to resign. Oh, that's a classic KGB ploy. They can't lose. At best, they get CIA material. At worst, they disrupt CIA London. Get a very good man moved.
Assuming Darcy's KGB.
What else can he be?
Innocent playboy who pulled a married woman who just happens to be a CIA officer's wife.
Why the MI5 interest?
Yeah. Do you know, I can't get rid of the feeling we're being set up.
Set up?
Tyler came to see me this morning. Gave me the information that MI5 are targeting Jenny Ross. Then Wellingham tells me that the PUS at the Home Office is asking questions about the CIA and the special relationship. Then Ross tells me that he's being followed. Then Mike meets with an MI5 contact who virtually tells him straight that MI5 is targeting the CIA.
So, could all be true?
But Ross hasn't had much field experience, has he? If he spotted that he was being trailed, did his minders show themselves deliberately?
Why would they do that?
And why should MI5 start leaking their business to us? I mean, I can buy the idea of Tyler getting his information from a contact. But Tyler and Mike getting the same information, two different sources?
Yeah, but why should we be set up?
No idea. But too many people are volunteering too many things.
I think 5 have got to be conning us for some reason or other.
Yes.
Better find out exactly who this Darcy is, huh? I'll pick him up tomorrow morning at the Parkway. Mike can back me up.
All right. Oh, Willie, the new aftershave.
Do you like it?
Not part of a determined assault on my secretary, is it?
How'd you guess?
I'm not sure I approve.
Why not?
Well, she's useless enough as it is without her moping about the place every time you go on a mission.
I'm going to ask her to dinner, not to marry me.
Well, the one could very easily lead to the other.
Not in one evening, it couldn't.
Yeah. On my way.
How long does it take you to rewrite a draft letter?
The Caribbean station.
When we receive a minute under the personal signature of the Foreign Secretary, I expect a reply to go back on it within 24 hours.
I can give you a holding reply. But if you want a considered answer, it'll require a little longer.
Or I could accept the proposal and put an end to the debate on it.
That's the easy way out, yes. But the truth of the matter is that it should have been opposed more vigorously at the budget meeting.
If you read the minutes, you'll see that it was opposed vigorously by the Deputy Chief, but he was unable to offer alternatives because his directors sent him there badly briefed.
He was briefed not to accept an operational penalty.
Because your directorate is sacrosanct.
It should be. Take away operational capability and we've slightly less power than the countries I commission.
I'll give you another 24 hours, but not a minute more. I refuse to be made to look incompetent because of your indecision.
It's time you forgot about Bond, sir. It was a long time ago.
I beg your pardon?
It was a difference of professional opinion. An argument between a station chief and a sandbagger with no relevance now.
You think I bear a grudge for what happened in Bonn?
I know you do.
And that's the only reason your work could be criticized?
I'm not saying that. But if you and I don't bury the hatchet, the service is going to suffer.
Or I could get rid of you.
Again, the easy way out, sir.
I agree. So let me put the record straight. Your conduct in Bonn could have caused a major international incident and could have cost me my job as head of station.
But it didn't, and I won.
On that occasion, yes. But I've no reason to believe that you aren't just as arrogant and unreliable as you were then. And the next time you put the entire service at risk, we may not be so fortunate. Therefore, I intend to keep a very close eye on you, Burnside, until either you can show me that you're worthy of my trust, or I've exploded the myth and laid you bare for what I believe you really are. A cowboy who was dangerous as a sandbagger and could be disastrous as a director.
May I ask a question, sir?
Yes.
Why do you appear to have such a preoccupation with safety? It must be very uncomfortable for you in a business like ours.
This has never occurred to you that those who play safe live to fight another day.
In our game, those who play safe never get to the battle.
That encapsulates the difference in our philosophies.
I think it does.
But unfortunately for you, I'm the general here. And this particular army marches to my tune. And you now have less than 24 hours to decide on your tactics for the Caribbean campaign.
Yes, sir.
Coca-Cola, prawn taking style, and 6 hours for.
Right first time.
Good evening, Neil.
Good evening, sir.
You, come here often?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's a regular haunt of mine. Will you join me?
Love to.
Are you staying in town?
At the club. Margaret and the children have gone down to Wales. A few days' break. Have you ordered?
No, I always have the same thing.
Oh, that's a pity. I was station chief in Hong Kong, as you know. Bit of an expert on Chinese food.
Yes, but don't embarrass them by ordering in Cantonese. Most of them were probably born and bred here.
Oh, I know. Oh, what about some wine?
No, thanks. I'll stick to cake.
Yes, of course. You, used to drink when you were on the section, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I just gave it up when I was promoted.
Why?
I got caught once. Soon after I took over as director. Found myself drunk out of my mind. having to make a very difficult decision, and, well, it's something I'll never do again.
Typical of you, Neil.
Sorry?
All or nothing. No half measures.
It's easier that way, isn't it?
How are you, getting on with the Caribbean thing?
I'm not. But we've got to find a way.
Difficult.
But it's a trend that we've got to reverse. If we go on reducing our operational capability, we'll finish up with no standing at all in the intelligence community. Thank you. And with nothing to offer the Americans.
That's true.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Fage. You chi tong yakko. Yak di ji choi. Yak di ap. Di sang choi. Tong mai jaffa.
Thank you, sir.
And half a bottle of leaf plum milk. Yes, I do enjoy my food.
So,
Yeah?
do you have any thoughts on MI5's attitude to the special relationship?
MI5? Well, in what way?
Well, are they jealous of our free exchange with the CIA?
Oh, yes, I'm sure. I mean, they don't have the same sort of thing with the FBI. Well, not to the same extent, anyway.
Then if they could, they might turn the CIA against us.
With what aim?
Perhaps to replace us in American affections.
Well, that wouldn't be easy for them. To replace us. MI5 and CIA are essentially in different fields of operation.
But with enough overlap to make it worthwhile. For MI5.
What are you getting at?
I don't know. There's just the odd whisper that MI5 are on the move. And it might have something to do with the CIA.
Now listen, Neil. You won't counter-move, will you?
Sorry?
I don't want their DG coming to see to remind him that SIS have no jurisdiction within the UK.
Well, that won't happen.
Meaning that you won't operate in the UK?
Meaning I won't get caught.
Well, what was the argument when they closed Port-au-Prince?
The same. Duplicating with the CIA.
Morning, Boss.
Morning. Willie, come in here.
Yeah, don't forget Mike and I are taking coffee, huh? Parkway Tower, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, well, don't let Darcy slip you this time.
No, we won't.
If Darcy is KGB, presumably MI5 will let him get Jenny into bed and then rescue her.
Put CIA in Five's debt.
Yes.
Yes, that would make sense.
But I think we owe it to Jeff to stop it before it gets that far.
What do you mean?
Well, if it looks like he's about to get her into bed, I think we should step in and blow it.
Oh, can't you do that? MI5 will scream like stuck pigs.
Well, let him. I don't care.
Well, the Home Office complains to the Foreign Office.
And Foreign Office complains to the Home Office. MI5 should tell us if they've got an operation involving the CIA.
Well, they did tell us via Tyler and Mike.
Oh, yes, that's a point. Well, maybe they were covering themselves. Still doesn't explain, of course, why they showed themselves to Ross or why the PUS at the Home Office spoke to Welling.
Well, don't you think you might be reading more into this than is there?
I've just got the feeling MI5 expect us to take some action.
Well, it could only be the action we're taking now.
Which forces us to operate in the UK. MI5 never allows us to do that. I think I better speak to Wenningham again.
I better make a move.
Yeah, oh, Willie, I meant what I said yesterday.
What about?
Taking Marion Straker to dinner.
Well, I hope it wasn't an order, because I'll have to tell you to stuff it.
Find someone else, someone who doesn't know what you do or when you're on a mission.
Do you fancy her?
Not in the least.
I wonder.
Yes?
Wellingham can see you if you'll go over right away.
Right. Still no joy in the Caribbean station?
No. I thought I'd cracked it just now. There's a rule approved by the Prime Minister.
Current Prime Minister?
Yes, it still stands. It was proposed and the Prime Minister concurred that no theatre of major activity or influence should be distant from an established station more than 1,000 statute miles, and that the theatre should be served to and from the established station by regular scheduled commercial flights.
And there is an established station within 1,000 miles of Kingston?
Yes, Caracas, about 850.
Scheduled flights?
Regularly, via Curacao.
Damn.
Agreed. Ironical thing is, if we'd left the Caribbean station in Nassau, it would have been all right.
Yes.
No way we can quietly shift it back.
No. What did you just say?
I said, no way we can shift it back from Kingston to Nassau.
No way we can shift the Caribbean station, no.
Shift Caracas?
Yes.
How does one shift the capital city of Venezuela?
On paper.
Sit down, Neil, and then go on slowly for my benefit.
Well, there's a rule extant which says that a major theatre should not be more than 1,000 miles from an established station.
So?
Unwittingly, when we moved the Caribbean station from Nassau to Kingston, we moved it to within 1,000 miles of Caracas.
Which means we needn't have a station at Kingston.
Unless, of course, on paper, we shift Caracas further south. Say that it's 1,020. No, it's too pat. 1,018 miles from Kingston.
What, and hope that no one checks?
Oh, why should anyone check? They know the paper's been properly staffed by us. If our whole argument's turning on a distance, we're going to make damn sure it's an accurate distance.
But it's a lie.
It's an arithmetical error. My calculator needs new batteries.
Someone here will bowl it out.
Not if it's got your endorsement on it.
My endorsement?
When we send our letter to you, you concur, tell Minister of State respectfully to think of something else.
But it won't come to me. It'll be addressed to the Foreign Secretary.
And the official letter will be. But we'll cover it with a note to you, suggesting that you may care to remind Minister of State of what his Prime Minister decided. It'll save embarrassment all round.
You'll still have to find a cut of 50,000.
I know. The costings committee will have to be reconvened to consider other measures, and I'll make sure Peel takes me along this time.
I'm not very keen.
Well, I wasn't very keen to investigate MI5, just because you don't like the PUS at the Home Office.
Oh, yes. How's that going?
Well, as far as I can tell, MI5 are maneuvering to get a hold on the CIA.
How?
Jeff Ross's wife is having an affair with a man called Darcy, who may or may not be an intelligence officer. Now, MI5 know about it. Have got Darcy and Mrs. Ross under surveillance, and we assume intend to move in at the right moment.
Before or after the photographs have been taken?
It's a good question. But I owe Ross a great deal, and I want to stop it before Darcy gets her into bed.
It hasn't gone that far?
Not yet.
And you're afraid Five will start shouting about jurisdiction?
Yes.
What have you told Ross?
Nothing. If I can stop it, warn off Jenny, return her to the fold without Ross's knowledge.
What the eye doesn't see.
Exactly.
Have they got Mrs. Ross under 24-hour surveillance?
I don't know, but I doubt it.
Well, can't you get to her privately, warn her off before the confrontation with Five?
We could. But we ought to discover who Darcy is. I mean, if he's British, working for the KGB.
Yes, you have to play that through. But don't let Five get a grip on Ross, Neil. The ramifications would be never-ending.
I won't.
I'd be very grateful.
How grateful?
By 1,018 miles.
We believe wholeheartedly, therefore, that the common sense exercised by the Prime Minister in the making of the regulation must prevail. And thus, in urging the continuance of the Caribbean station, we recommend an early examination of other possible areas of saving. Okay?
Good. Make sure it goes to C under an immediate tab, and make sure it goes straight into him.
Right.
Well, didn't Darcy give a lunch?
Yep, they're stuck into 4 courses at the Cafe Royal. Mike's with them now. Now, I identified a joker at the Parkway.
What?
Yeah. He stuck with Jenny Ross and Darcy till he got to the Cafe Royal, then he broke off. I had the pool car, and I very nearly made the mistake of trying to be clever by getting to 5's HQ before him. I stuck with him, and he played it clever instead. He took a taxi, and he abandoned it right in the centre of Piccadilly. So I abandoned the pool car in the middle lane.
I hope this is going to be worth the ensuing nausea.
Yes, it is. Now, he thought that he'd left me with the car, so he played it straight after that. Guess where? Straight to Grosvenor Square.
The US Embassy?
Mm-hmm.
Then what the hell's going on?
Don't know. Thanks. If the Joker is American, he's a visitor. I've never seen him before.
What do you mean, if he's American?
Well, it could be 5 pulling us away, couldn't it? Their man reveals himself, makes a great show of shaking me, actually knowing that I'm still with him. He strolls into the US Embassy, asks about a visa.
Except that we think MI5 are advertising their involvement.
Right, then assume that he's CIA.
And therefore, do we assume that Ross is sinning in on the game, knows about Jenny?
No, not necessarily. If the embassy got a tip, they might bring in an outsider, save embarrassing Ross.
I wish we knew who Darcy is.
Well, 5 must know.
Is there any evidence of them again today?
No, not a sniff. I don't think they're sitting in.
Well, they must be. They need to know what's developing. How else can they do their rescue act?
If that's what they're doing.
If that's what they're doing.
I think you better tell Jeff what's going on.
You mean if he doesn't know already?
Well, if he does, and he knows that we're sitting in, he won't be best pleased we haven't told him anything. Come on, let's tell Jeff and pull out. I mean, we were only in it to protect him. Seems he's got his own people there now.
Yes, all right. And we've got enough to do without worrying about MI5 and the CIA.
Any news on the Caribbean front?
Oh, I think we cracked that one.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a 1,000-mile rule between theatre and station, which means that Kingston doesn't qualify because of Caracas.
Not less than 1,000 miles.
Yeah. So we've done a paper claiming that Caracas is outside. The big bluff.
Do you reckon that'll work?
Well, I don't see why not. The whole issue is about the position of Kingston, not the position of Caracas.
You get them concentrating so hard on one, they take the other for granted.
Yes, with a bit of...
Yeah, I thought about that. I dismissed it as ridiculous.
But we have been concentrating on the one and taking the other for granted.
I know, but it makes no more sense the other way round.
But it would make some sense if we forgot that Jeff Ross is a friend.
And Darcy?
Edward, it's Neil. Sorry to disturb your lunch, but could I come and see you? Bring William?
I'll come to you.
Okay, thanks. I'm not sure I want to go along this road. I may not like what I find at the end.
Was Jenny Ross CIA by any chance?
Yes, I believe she... Yes, that's where Jeff met her. She was in Plans Division.
Yeah, but it's hard to believe he'd use his own wife, isn't it?
Well, it depends what he was aiming for, how far you reckon he'd have to run it.
It's got to be something very important.
Important to him, yes.
Willie?
Sir?
Edward. Does the name Darcy mean anything to you?
I hope you haven't been digging, Neil.
Oh, we've been digging all right, but in the wrong direction, I suspect. Darcy's MI5, isn't he?
It was Darcy who gave me the tip about Jenny Ross.
What's he do?
Well, I don't remember his title, but in broad terms, he's your opposite number in MI5.
Well, operations director.
More or less.
Oh.
2 days of chasing our tail. All I had to do was go down the corridor.
Except we thought he was KGB.
KGB?
Oh, it's a long story, but I'll bring you up to date if you can fix me a meeting between Darcy and me.
Off the record, I hope.
That'll do.
Be at lunch now.
He's at lunch. We even know where.
Neil Burnside?
Yes?
Trevor Darcy.
Thanks for meeting me.
Mind if we stroll? I've got rather a large and expensive meal to walk off.
Up until a couple of hours ago, I thought MI5 was targeting the CIA.
That's what you were meant to think.
Any reason why?
Given the rather special relationship between you and the CIA,
And a rather unspecial relationship between you and us. If we told you that the CIA was targeting MI5, you'd have said good luck to the CIA.
That's probably true.
But, by the same token, when we leaked that MI5 was targeting your American brothers, we knew you'd be outraged.
And that we'd sit in.
Despite the clear-cut rules on jurisdiction.
What were we supposed to do?
Go in with both feet. Tell Ross that his wife was having an affair, and that MI5 was onto it.
Without supposing naturally that you had snow in your boots.
Why?
Which would force Ross to kill his operation.
Ross would have to pull out once he realized you were involved. Or admit what he was doing.
What was he doing?
Haven't you worked that out?
Not entirely.
We gave you enough help.
Yes, but we do have our own days.
Somewhere in England, shall we say, there's an extremely senior and much revered US Air Force officer who's been selected as Chief of Staff when the appointment announced.
General Maxwell Marsden.
Is that his name? The general was handpicked by the US President, who's made all the usual, in this case, rather unfortunate remarks about what a fine, upstanding chap, a good friend, as our general is.
And the general's been caught with his hand in the till.
Rather worse than that, actually. He's an unusually strong attraction for small boys. Yes, as unsavory as it's abhorrent, isn't it? Anyway, in their inimitable manner, the KGB have managed to exploit the aforementioned weakness and got photographs to prove it.
But why isn't the FBI handling it?
Because the FBI, bless them, seem rather more fond of their current president than they have been of some of his predecessors, and the president wants the whole thing hushed up.
But you won't play?
Well, under normal circumstances, of course we would. The greater good and all that. But this chap here is a child molester. We feel rather strongly he should be put away for it. Apart from that, a goodly number of the secrets he's been dishing out to the KGB are ours, which upsets us almost as much.
Ross must be out of his mind.
Counterattack on me?
Yes.
Yes, well, not a lot he could do about it, I imagine. Not with El Presidente breathing down his neck. Still, it was rather clever choosing me. You see, my wife was injured in a car accident about 3 years ago. She's paralyzed from the waist down.
I'm sorry.
Yes, well, practical problems, of course. Anyway. Then one day, this rather attractive American lady slipped into my ken, named Jenny Chapman, married one Bill Chapman, a computer engineer.
Well, why did Ross use his wife and not some regular CIA officer?
Yeah, I wondered about that, too. I suppose it was to keep the whole sorry business on a strictly need-to-know basis. You know what the CIA have been like on leaks recently.
On current form, the story could be published in someone's memoirs by next week.
Quite. I also think it was another touch of Ross' genius. Jenny is a housewife. Talks like a housewife, acts like a housewife. No career girl does.
Go on.
Well, not much more to it, really. She played it magnificently. Played me magnificently, too.
Shying off when you suggested bed.
When I suggested an hotel room, tonight's supposed to be the night. I'm to go round to her flat, an evening of bliss.
Attended by a CIA photographer.
No, I think the whole thing's to be a little more definite. Attempted rape when the police called in.
They charge you with rape and name you in court as an MI5 officer.
Or we drop our charges against the general, they drop theirs against me.
How early did you get onto it?
Not before I become extremely excited, I can tell you. Of course, it never occurred to me she could be CIA.
Then?
Well, you thought I was KGB. I thought she was. Suspicious bunch, aren't we?
You ran a routine check on her?
Yes, got quite a surprise, not to say disappointment.
But why didn't you tell her there and then that the game was up?
You cloak and dagger boys are a bit straightforward, aren't you?
If you say so.
Well, until yesterday, there were a lot of secret hagglings going on about the fate of the general, and, we had no way of knowing how long they'd go on.
Yes.
Well, we were afraid of shutting down Russ's operation against me in case he started up another elsewhere, and with more success.
And yesterday?
The Americans were told to bite on the bullet because we're going to do the general.
And that's when you involved SIS?
That's when we tried to involve you. We wanted you to bring it out in the open with Ross. Scare him off, in the knowledge that he wouldn't have time to start anything else.
A face-saving exercise all round?
Not entirely. If we let it be known that Ross's little scheme's doomed to failure from the start, acrimony and embarrassment all round, and we do desperately want to be buddies with the CIA.
A good old SIS?
All in a good cause.
Not a lot of honor in our business, is there?
Honors for them as can afford it.
There was a CIA officer at the hotel this morning.
Not CIA, FBI. They were put out because the president gave the operation to the CIA, I believe. I spotted him. Expect he was there in the hope that Jenny would blow it. Prove a point for him.
Talk about weaving a web.
Deceit's the name of the game, old chap. Makes the world go round.
Makes our world go round. Presumably, you'd like me to play my part now and call off Ross.
I'd be obliged. I'm due to get raped in 1930.
All this haggling over the general. Was the Foreign Office in on that?
Oh, yes. We don't talk to the White House. Bad form.
How would it have gone? Home Office to FCO?
High level, PUS to PUS, I imagine. Why?
Just like to know when I'm being conned.
Well, it's not for me to say, old chap. But I believe the good Jeffrey was asked to, give you a compass heading, so to speak.
Without telling me the truth?
Oh, we never tell him on the truth. It's bad form, too.
I don't know what you're talking about, Neil.
You're targeting MI5.
Now, why would I target 5?
I don't know. I don't care. You can burn down their headquarters as far as I'm concerned. But I do object to being used, or rather abused, by you.
What did I do?
You told me that you were being tailed.
Yeah, I was.
Rubbish. You wouldn't recognize a tail if it wrapped itself around your neck. And all that nonsense about hearing the one of them speak, what was it, perfect English?
Yeah, that's right.
To point me directly at MI5. So that if I discovered that they were asking questions about you, I could run and tell you. And you'd know that your targeting operation had been rumbled.
Ah, come on, you're crazy.
It was crazy to believe you. Waste my sympathy on you.
What sympathy?
You told me that things were rough between you and Jenny. But in fact, you'd involved your own wife in the operation. And you were using me so that if MI5 did start to rumble your operation and anything came of it, I could give evidence that Jenny was disenchanted with the marriage and might well have been wooed away from you by an MI5 officer.
If you talk to 5?
I don't talk to 5. And as of now, I don't talk to you.
Yeah, okay, just tell me one thing. No, 2 things. Are you sure 5 hasn't connected the operation with the CIA?
I'm sure. That's 1.
2. How the hell did you get onto it?
Through my concern for you. We ran a check on Jenny just in case your marriage was coming apart and there was something I could do about it.
Sorry.
Excuse me. The Ops? On my way.
Neil, this was really important to me.
Yes, sir?
Mr. Ross is leaving. Have him escorted.
Sam? I've just had a call from the FCO.
Yes, sir?
They'll accept our arguments about the Caribbean station. It's to remain open.
Well, that's good news.
Indeed.
Sir?
That's to assist you in your future measurement of maps.
Oh, well, that's kind of you.
I did warn you I was going to keep a close eye on you, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And I meant it. If you tell me that the sun is shining, I shall take a look out of the window before I believe you. And nor should you let this success encourage you. You have no monopoly in deviousness.
That's something I've just learned.